Greetings, this is Essayons Family Gardening, and I'm Rob, your sapper gardener, along with SK1, the sapper kid 1. And we have been invited to do our take on Hamburger Helper, and we were invited by Mommiesaurus over on her channel. She just did a video, which I'm going to link here, hopefully above SK1's head. And we're going to do our version. And I have to admit, I grew up on Hamburger Helper. I grew up down south in Georgia, probably eating Hamburger Helper 10,000 times. It's just one of those go-to meals for busy moms to make for their kid. But my family has never had Hamburger Helper. We tend to make our meals from scratch nowadays. So SK1 is 11. My wife, Mrs. SG, has been in the United States about 10 years, and SK2 is 6. So this is going to be their first experience with Hamburger Helper. Hopefully it's going to be a good one, but it will be made from scratch. So we're not using the box version, and we're going to see how it turns out. So you guys hang tight. I'll show you our ingredients and we'll get started. All right, so we've got our ingredients laid out in front of us. May look like quite a few spices, but it's really not that many ingredients. So it's a very simple dish to make. We are going to make some changes from the typical Hamburger Helper that we grew up with. You would normally use a pound of ground beef, but we're going to do a ground beef chorizo mix. So ours is going to be a little bit spicier. So we're going to do half chorizo, half ground beef. We actually got our ground beef on sale, so we're happy with that. We've got a little bit of cooking oil to add in, a couple of teaspoons here. And we're also going to add in 2.5 cups of milk. We're going to do 2 cups of shredded sharp cheddar cheese. We've got our elbow macaroni. We're also going to be using cornstarch, garlic powder, ancho chili powder, light brown sugar. We're going to add in some dried minced onions, a little bit of crushed red chili flakes, some cayenne pepper powder, some smoked paprika, some salt, and some cornstarch. And we're also going to add in milk and water. So not a ton of ingredients, but we're going to go ahead and take you guys over to the stove and we'll get started. So we've added in our cooking oil and we're going to brown our ground beef. Once our ground beef is brown, we're going to remove it, drain the fat. We're going to add in our chorizo, do the exact same thing, and then we will go on to the next step in this recipe. our mac and cheese is ready for, not mac and cheese. You got mac and cheese on the mind, because a lot of people also make this and they call it chili mac also. So many different names for it. So when we eat Hamburger Helper, we get it at school, we get it places, and some people use it interchangeably with chili mac, which there is chili pepper in here. So you can call it what you want. We're just gonna hopefully call it delicious with all this yummy Tillamook sharp cheddar cheese in it. So we're going to mix this in, let it marry together for a couple of minutes, and then we're going to bring you guys back to us at the table. And since we're doing a kicked up version, we're probably gonna garnish ours with some cilantro or, you know, some type herb like that. And we're also gonna have a healthy cucumber salad, simple salad to go along with this. So we'll bring you guys back in just a minute. All right, so we're at the table. We've got our homemade our homemade Hamburger Helper. My wife keeps asking what the difference of this and the chili mac, and the only difference I can think of is you do add some tomato sauce into your chili mac, and we don't put tomato sauce or paste or anything in this. But what we're going to do, we're going to let everybody serve themselves. I have already served myself a big heaping portion like I would as a kid. And we're gonna let everybody give their opinion. So let us serve everybody, and in the interest of time, we'll bring you guys back. Okay, so we are back. Everybody has served themselves, and where am I at? And we're tasting around the table. And I was afraid for a minute because SK1 was eating over there, and I saw him squinch his face up. And I was like, oh, this one's a bomb. But why were you squinching your face up, SK1?
The vinegar and the cucumbers.
So, it is pretty vinegary.
Oh.
But it's a good vinegary. So.
Apple cider.
I don't want to talk while I'm crunching and chewing because some people might be offended by that. We're not. But the homemade Hamburger Helper is a hit, I think. SK1, white.
Yeah, it's a little more presentable.
So he's more presentable. What do you think, sweetie?
I love it.
And you said you've had something like this before?
No, with the tomato sauce.
Okay. So everything is good. I've tasted it. It tastes just like the Hamburger Helper that I've grew up with. It actually costs about the same. When you get a box for $2 or $3, all the side ingredients that went into it were really not that expensive. Of course, we got our ground beef on sale today. And the time-wise, it took about the same amount of time. It took about 15 minutes from start to finish to brown everything, cook everything, and yeah, it's still a quick fix meal. So we're not saying don't go out and buy a box of Hamburger Helper, but don't be afraid to try to make your quick, easy meals from scratch too. So we're going to turn off the camera. We're going to eat. We also have some cheese and ham quesadillas, which is a new one for SK2. So congrats to SK2. Clap, clap. So by leaps and bounds, we're getting him to try new things. So we're going to finish up our meal. As always, God bless our great country, America. God bless you wherever you may reside around the world. God bless your garden, your harvest, your kitchen, your meals. And especially, God bless your family, that you have health, success, and prosperity as we have. So we're going to eat our homemade Hamburger Helper as invited to cook by Mommiesaurus. If you guys have not checked out her channel, I'll leave a link up here in the iCard so you can go check out her version and her channel. And hopefully you enjoy it as much as you enjoy ours. So, representing Essayons Family Garden, this is Rob, the Sapper Gardener. Take care. Sapper out. All right, folks. I left too soon because the best answers came after, the best questions came after we stopped filming. So my wife asked, because she's never had Hamburger Helper before, and she said, why do they call it Hamburger Helper? When you buy the box, is everything in there? And I said, no, the hamburger is out, so it helps you to make the meal. Everything comes, the spices, the cheese mix, even though it's a powder. And you add the hamburger, and there's also different things, tuna helper, chicken helper, different versions of the Hamburger Helper series, if you want to call it. But yeah, you have to add everything else in. So I guess you guys would prefer to see the family than my dome any day. So yeah, and again, it's a very simple meal. This definitely reminds me of home. Maybe a little bit better than the box version because of the fresh cheese and the chorizo added, but it tastes enough like home so you can feel it in your heart. So sorry, Joey, from my slice of heavens outdoors. I hope you got your popcorn for this one because it's longer than it should have been, but we're happy. So any last words, SK1?
He wants more.
Okay, Mrs. SG, any last words? I see a lot of empty plates around the table other than mine while I'm talking. Any last words?
I'm ready for a second.
Okay. SK2, any last words?
I don't know.
Okay. All right, so we're going to go back in. They're going in for seconds. I got to finish my first so I can go in for seconds. So take care. Zapper out.